Well, we're going to speak on exactly what are the intangibles that you bring to the table. What are the intangibles that the modern day woman brings to the table? 'Cause there's a lot of women talking loud in today's society. A lot of black women, especially. You guys are among the loudest as far as what you bring to the table. A lot of women are quick to say, "Well, I got an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate. I'm qualified to be a professor at the highest, most prestigious universities in America. I make this amount of money. I drive this kind of car. I live in this kind of house. I go on these kind of trips and do this and that. I've traveled here. I've traveled there." None of which men give a fuck about. We don't care about any of that shit. So what are the intangibles you bring to the table? And when someone asks these ladies this question, all of you have the same canned answers. You may as well be bots because you answer in a similar fashion all the time. Well, I'm a good person. I'm a good natured person. I'm very supportive. I'm down to earth. I have a good sense of humor. And all the things that you name. And fellas, I'm sure you've noticed this too. The things that these women often name, you cannot put these things on a scale and measure them. You can't strain what they say into a beaker and pour it into a test tube. You can't pour it under a microscope and actually break it down and examine the things that they're saying. This is why they say such useless, frivolous things. When you ask the question, the basic question, what do you bring to the table? AKA, what are your intangibles? And before the canned answer comes out, usually there's a long pause. Let's not forget the sound effects. Well, I have a degree. Fuck your degree. Who cares? What are your intangibles? Why should I pick you over her? There is no answer because they themselves know, especially the leftover ones. The leftover women in society, oh, they are especially mad and angry. How dare you skip over me? I know I'm a single mom and my stock has plummeted over the years, especially with my feministic thoughts and the way I conduct myself, my debaucherous actions and my promiscuousness. I understand why my stock has fallen, but it's not fair. Life isn't fair. And for some strange reason, you dames can't come to grips with it. So used to fairy tale land. And still come back to the same point of which is the genesis of the question to begin with. What are your intangibles? And from now on, guys, we need to start cutting that off right at the pass. If you can't list something that's tangible and measurable, something that can actually be put into action, I don't want to hear it. I don't care about your degree. I don't care about your house, your car, how much money you got. None of that shit matters to me. I got my own money. I can get my own money more. I can do for myself. I can care less about your fucking degree, which basically just tells me how well you can be brainwashed and trained to think a certain way. Because we all know colleges don't teach people to think anymore. They teach you to memorize what the professor has said. How good is your memory? Can you write a thesis based on what you can remember about what I said in this lecture? And the people with the best memory are able to do that. The people that are easily malleable, as they would say, people that can be indoctrinated very easily, they would do very well in these tests. Very well on a test equals graduation equals piece of paper equals degree. Does not measure intelligence and common sense, though. So who the fuck cares about your degree? That's not an intangible. But of course, they gotta do the deflection for the resurrection. Well, what do you bring to the table? Your response should be, is that your answer? No, that's not my answer. I just want you asking me what I bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? No, we're not finna do that. We're not finna have an ADD conversation. Okay? If you need some ADD, ADHD medicine, please go take it now. Let your brain cells marinate on pause and then come back to this original question and answer the goddamn question. What are your intangibles? As a man, these should be the questions that we should be asking these women, fellas. Why should I choose you over her? And if you can't explain and you can't articulate as far as being straightforward, as far as your measurables that can be actually documented and measured out, it can be seen, I don't want to hear it. Because you're basically giving me a bunch of fluff to sail through the conversation, to pretty much ignore the question and just gloss over it. You know what a lot of these women are doing is basically the equivalent of Charlie Brown's teacher. Well, what do you bring to the table? Well, wait a minute. You really didn't answer my question. So if that's your answer, then we can just move along. You can go that way. I can go this way. And we can just leave it at that. See, they expect us to be the providers and the protectors and things like that. Somebody breaks in the house. You go downstairs and you, as the man, put your life on the line, your physical health on the line, because you don't know what is going to happen. You don't know who's in your house. If it's 1, 2, 3, or 10 intruders in your house. But as the man, you are the one charged with taking your ass downstairs and finding out. That's your job. Ironically, that is one double standard that for some strange reason, women are not in a hurry to get rid of that portion. Because they're always, especially black women, always hollering about not being protected. We are not protected. We are the most unprotected women on the planet. Blah, 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 blah. But they always leave out a major piece to the puzzle. Your protection should come from your husband or your fiance. But a lot of you ladies are so strong and independent, you don't need any of that, huh? But yet when you want something repaired around the house, who do you call? You call a man. I thought you were strong and independent. You don't need men. You can do anything a man can do. You're just as strong, you're just as smart, you're just as resilient. And why the fuck are y'all calling us to repair shit? To assemble shit? And some of you have men for specific needs. Oh, you need something assembled? Let me call this guy. Oh, I need my plumbing, my real life plumbing, not metaphorically speaking plumbing, if you know what I mean. My kitchen sink is clogged up. My bathroom toilet is clogged up. I need a plumber, handyman type, jack of all trades dude with the Allen wrench and adjustable wrench and pliers to come over and straighten this out. As opposed to you going to Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, and buying the necessary equipment you need and fixing the plumbing in your house yourself because you're strong and independent, right? Then one would think you would be able to do that. I mean, after all, you're just as smart and just as strong as men are. You can do anything men can do and better according to you, according to the modern day woman. Especially the black woman, because they are the loudest. What are your intangibles? Because obviously something about the table throws a lot of these women off. They brain just turns into fart marshmallows. They act like they can't even think for a second. Well, what do I bring to the table? That's because you bring nothing but taco to the table. And a lot of y'all tacos got dust mites living in them anyway. You need to retire that thing. That bargaining chip that you once had when you were young, that chip is no longer good. That chip is stale. There's much younger and more exuberant bargaining chips out there. Why should he pick you over her? If the only bargaining chip you have is that taco between your legs, that box between your legs, that thought crotch between your legs, if that's your only bargaining chip, you might as well fold your hand and scoot yourself away from the table because you have nothing to bargain with. And a lot of you ladies are openly admitting that because you can't even answer the simple question of what your intangibles are without introducing Caesar word salad to the world. Bunch of words that mean nothing. And this is the problem with today's modern day woman. They don't think they have to bring anything to the table, but you have to bring the whole block, the neighborhood, half the city in order to qualify for someone living in a cardboard box under a bridge with the rest of the trolls. How ironic that is. So yeah, fellas, next time a woman decides to say that, oh, she's very understanding and she has all these degrees and all these things, when you ask her about her intangibles and she basically says nothing, you probably should be like, you know what? Okay, well, thank you for your application and your interest, but I'm going to go with another applicant. This would just eliminate all the time wasting a lot of these modern women do. A lot of these modern women engage in extreme time wasting. They will run your time into the ground if you let them. Do not do that. Get straight to the point. What are your intangibles? Oh, you just said a bunch of nothing. Okay. You basically admitted there's no reason for me to choose you over her, so maybe I should just choose her. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. If you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to donate at Feel free to donate at Cash App, $ Cobra Clutch 357. That being said, the blizz is in the wind once again. Take it how you want to take it. Fuck it.